is comfortable.
LensCrafters exclusive featherweights, lighter weight for greater comfort. In about an hour.
People say Ember's steak and eggs platter is the best they've ever had. Two farm fresh eggs, 3 buttermilk pancakes, hash brown potatoes, and a USDA choice sirloin steak, only $3.99. Come and see if you don't agree. There's only one place for food this good. Embers. Only Embers.
Wherever it breaks, whatever it takes. NBC News at News Center 13, where the news comes first, 24 hours a day.
The answer to life's richest puzzles.
Monday through Saturday at 6:30, only on TV 13.
Hi, I'm Tim Paulson, Vice President of Hair Club for Men. And of course, I'm also a client. I'm proud to announce that Hair Club has just made a dramatic improvement in our strand-by-strand system of hair replacement, the Polyfuse method. Call our toll-free number now and we'll send you our new brochure describing in detail our latest innovation, the Polyfuse method.
So why call it Polyfuse? Because by applying a polymer to your existing hair, it will literally fuse with the new hair we add. And believe me, even when I run my fingers through Sean's hair, it still feels natural, like his own, even when the hair blows around. It looks very natural. Even when wet, Gerard's hair still looks like it's all his own.
So make sure you call our toll-free number now to find out more about our dramatic improvement, the Polyfuse method from Hair Club for Men.
Don't forget, we stand behind it. And remember, I'm not only the Hair Club president, but I'm also a client.
We've all heard stories about babies being delivered in the car on the way to the hospital, but how close can you get? How about the hospital parking lot? That's exactly where little Keontae Coney was born. Her mom, Tia, was about to walk into a Palm Beach, Florida hospital when she gave birth.
Well, I know I felt something coming. And I just kept hollering, it's coming, it's coming. And here she popped out.
Both mother and daughter are reported to be doing fine. Now, Tuesday was a historic anniversary date for naval aviators. 2 vintage B-25 bombers revved up and flew from the deck of the USS Ranger near San Diego. It was to commemorate Doolittle's raid over Tokyo 50 years ago. The attack became a psychological turning point in the Pacific Theater in World War II. General Jimmy Doolittle did not make the ceremonies. He's 95 years old and he doesn't travel anymore. Well, it's a mess out there. There's flooding on the East Coast, snow in the Midwest. Here's Bob Ryan with the forecast.
Heavy rains continue to move through parts of eastern Virginia. There's been flooding for a wide area of the central and northern Shenandoah Valley overnight, also around the Blue Ridge Mountains on into Maryland. Also heavy rains in Pennsylvania. The eastern part of the storm will continue to move on out toward the east overnight. Meanwhile, behind it, it's been cold, with the cold air continuing to pour from Canada through the northern plains, where overnight low temperatures have only been in the 20s. For the day ahead, temperatures up through the Great Lakes and western plains will only be in 30s and 40s, while the heat is on in West Texas, where temperatures will be in the 90s. It'll be cool in the Pacific Northwest, and in back of the storm, along much of the East Coast, it will be warm with temperatures 70s and 80s all the way from parts of New York on into Virginia. Meanwhile, that storm will continue to cause some rains, heavy at times, maybe even some thunderstorms for the day ahead. Parts of New England slowly moving out to sea, while sunshine spreads across the flooded areas of Virginia, and it'll be sunny and warm down south. Meanwhile, another storm will be developing through parts of West Texas, and much of the west will be on the sunny side, cool in the Pacific Northwest. That's the latest on the weather. Bob Ryan for Nightside.
In business news this morning, the banks are saying no more money for Olympia in York, which is close to a possible bankruptcy filing. With that story and the market news, here's CNBC's Dean Shepard.
The Treasury Department is reporting yet another increase in the U.S. budget deficit. In March, the deficit grew nearly $9 billion compared to March of 1991, coming in at $49.36 billion compared to $41.17 billion a year ago. Blue chip stocks ended higher on a late flurry of buying Tuesday, but the broader market continued to languish as traders sold biotech and drug issues. The Dow Jones Industrial Average closed up almost 7 points at 3343 on a fairly heavy volume. Dow component IBM is taking steps to sharpen its images. The computer giant says it's teaming up with Intel to improve its computer screen graphics. Intel, the leading maker of the microprocessor brains of personal computers, will use IBM's new graphics technology to make the first chip version available in early 1993. The financial troubles continue to mount for debt-burdened Olympia and York. The Toronto-based real estate developer reportedly needs to raise $260 million in emergency capital by the end of this week, or face the possibility of seeking Chapter 11 bankruptcy. O&Y needs about $175 million for its London Canary Wharf project and another $85 million for its Canadian operations, but the company has reportedly not been able to convince its global lenders to give it any fresh loans. That's a look at business news. I'm Dean Shepard for Nightside.
Coming up, the Supreme Court's going to consider controversial abortion law later today. We'll have a preview. And later, Kurt Gregory will have the latest in Major League Baseball action. Pittsburgh makes it 8 straight.
Jack Patton, publisher of Business Week.
I'm proud that so many leading companies advertise in our pages. American Express, AT&T, General Motors. Business Week ad pages read like a who's who of business. Why do so many successful companies choose our pages to tell their stories?